Hey guys, this is my instruction here, and I'm going to go through this Google slide presentation of our nutrition unit. This is going to be a lot of information, but this is kind of your video to go to. It's going to help you complete a few assignments over the course of the next 2 weeks as we go through this nutrition unit. So you don't have to watch these videos all at once. You may want to watch through this video and complete your note catcher. That's one of the activities I have listed on there. But you'll definitely want to complete all the videos. And I'm saying videos because I'm not sure if it's going to take me more than one to get through all this information. But you want to complete all these videos of this Google slide presentation to do the nutrition quiz, okay? And then once we get through the nutrition quiz, then there's a few other assignments that you still will use this information through, okay? So without any further ado, I'm going to jump in here and get into our first slide. So in this unit, we're going to look at identifying the 6 main nutrients that make up pretty much all all food can be broken down into these 6 nutrients. Okay, and the essential nutrients are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. Okay, so basically, we're going to go through each of those 6 nutrients in this presentation, and we'll talk a little bit about a few other things, but that's the crux of this unit, is understanding these nutrients, why they're important, what they do for your body, and so forth. I did not yet say the definition of nutrition, but I'm going to say that right now. Nutrition is the way your body uses food. And so that is a good working definition that we're going to use again and again. I should maybe type that in here somewhere so you guys can see it. Let's see, I think I can do that. Nutrition, the way your body uses food. Okay, and I think that's a good way of looking at it to understand kind of why we eat certain foods. Of course, some people just eat food because it tastes good, or eat food because they're just eating because that's what their culturally that's what their family has done, whatever. But really, your body does need all of these certain nutrients to perform, to grow, to repair itself, to manage all of the body functions that keep you alive. And so luckily you can kind of do that without knowing much about nutrition, but I'm going to help you. Hopefully this video will help you kind of understand when to eat certain kinds of foods and how much and so forth. Okay, let's jump right in. So we got through that. The very first nutrient we're going to talk about is carbohydrates. First of all, carbohydrates are a major source of human energy. So when we eat carbohydrates, your body converts those carbohydrates into energy that it needs daily. So it breaks it down into something called glucose, and glucose is really a type of sugar that is in your bloodstream, and your body burns that glucose and uses it as energy. And energy is necessary to make your body move. It's necessary to keep your body alive and allow your involuntary systems to work, like your heart beating, your lungs pumping, those sorts of things. Keeps your brain active. So energy is what we need basically to do things. Carbohydrates are easily digested. They're a cheap source of energy. What that means is they can burn easily, and your body doesn't have to go through a lot of. It's not difficult for your body to burn them. Where can you find carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are found in bread, pasta, crackers, cereals, potatoes, corn, all fruits, all vegetables, although some vegetables are low, very low in carbohydrates, but most of them have lots of carbohydrates. Sugars are all carbs, syrups, anything that has that. And of course, foods that have multiple different things in them may oftentimes contain carbohydrates as well. Carbohydrates should make up 60% of your diet. Now, I say that this is general guidelines that the FDA provides, but in general, you want to eat 50 or 60% of your diet should come from carbs because you need that energy to get you through the day. There are situations, health reasons, personal reasons that people maybe would eat less carbs. But that's the general FDA guidelines. Okay. So what's the purpose of carbohydrates? Energy. That's the purpose. That's a test question. You got to know that. Okay. The reason why you eat carbohydrates is it provides your body with energy. However, if you eat more carbohydrates, well, let's back up here. So I just want to read in here. Yeah. So if you eat more carbohydrates than your body is able to burn, your body stores that as fat. And that's kind of interesting, something that people don't often know. So if I'm a really active person, okay, I'm using energy a lot. I'm an athlete, I'm on the track team, and I run long distance, okay? I need more carbohydrates because I'm going to use that energy while I'm running, okay? And I will burn through that energy so that there won't be any extra carbohydrates left at the end of my day. But somebody else who doesn't exercise all the time, that has a more sedentary lifestyle, they go home after school and they sit on the couch, their body is not going to burn all those carbohydrates. So your body stores those carbohydrates, stores them as fat, and that can be and will be burned later if that person doesn't eat. So that's kind of, it's a genetic sort of way that our bodies do that for survival. So if we, back in the day when maybe humans didn't eat quite as regularly, if they stored that fat and then, they couldn't kill an animal or scavenge food for for a day, their body would burn that excess fat off of their body until they could eat the next time. So that's why that's there. Carbohydrates has 4 calories per gram. And this is a really important part about carbohydrates. There are 2 types of carbohydrates. There are simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. One is not bad and one's not good, but they are different and they do different things. So simple carbohydrates digest really quickly. They are simple sugars and they give your body short bursts of energy. It doesn't last long. Sugar is a perfect example of a simple carbohydrate. So, and all fruits are simple carbohydrates. So like I said, simple does not mean bad necessarily. Fruits are good. We want to eat some fruits for sure, but your body breaks it down as a simple carbohydrate, and it's not a long-lasting energy. So keep that in mind. If you want a short burst of energy, that's fine. But if you were going to, again, go back to that analogy of the long distance, or the example of the long distance runner, that person doesn't want short-term energy. If they have an apple right before they go and run, and that's the energy they're supposed to use for the day, that is going to be gone in the first lap or so. They're going to burn right through that, and they're going to be hungry, and their body's not going to have any energy. Complex carbohydrates, on the flip side, are digested really slowly, and they have a much longer period of time in terms of energy. So rice, pasta, whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat bread, things that have become a little more common now, like quinoa or something like that, oats, oatmeal, those things burn for long periods of time. Okay, and they provide long-term energy. So that would be good if you were going to run a marathon to make sure that you have simple carbohydrates in there. Okay, and you may want to, if you were running a marathon, you may want to have short bursts of energy along the race. And sometimes people will do that when they're on a really long race like that. They'll load up on complex carbohydrates before the race, and while they're running, they'll stop at little stations, grab a slug of water, and they'll grab like one of those Gatorade chewable things or something else that's kind of a sugary short burst of energy just to give them a little bits of energy. But that is burned quickly. Carbohydrates often contain fiber because carbohydrates often come from fruits and vegetables. So, all of those are high in fiber. Fiber is really important. It's not a nutrient and it's not related to carbohydrates because there are other foods that have fiber. But this is mentioned because that's another reason why you'd want to eat fruits, to get the fiber. Fiber basically is the stuff that your body doesn't break down, and it helps your body with digestion, it helps your body with waste removal and stuff like that. Okay, looking at the time here, I'm going to hopefully get through fats, and then I'll stop and go and make a new video here. So fats are a really concentrated form of energy. They're more expensive, and your body has to work harder to break them down, but they still can be used as energy. However, they do other things as well. If you go down and look at section C here, it says they maintain your body temperature by providing insulation. They cushion organs and bones. They aid in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, so they help your body absorb vitamins. Fats are they've gotten a bad name in the past. Now people really realize that healthy fats are really good in your diet. You know, the keto diet, maybe you've seen that. That is all real high fat intake and lower carb. Eating healthy fats has shown to have some major health benefits. There's two kinds of fats: saturated fats, unsaturated fats. Best way to think about these two fats is saturated fats are solid at room temperature. So if it's kind of cold, you know, it's not really warm, you're just sitting out, it's going to be solid. That's your butter. That's your coconut oil. That is lard. Unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature. So that's going to be your olive oil, your vegetable oils, your avocado oils, nut oils, things like that. Those are all going to be your unsaturated ones, okay? So one thing you got to be concerned here with fats is, in general, you want to kind of limit your saturated fat intake. Although coconut oil is a healthy oil, you don't need that much of it. And there is a fear that with some saturated fats, especially animal fats, they are high in an unhealthy form of cholesterol that can be difficult or can lead to heart disease and stuff like that. So you want to stick to healthy unsaturated fats for the most part, and we'll talk about those in a minute. There's lots of foods that we eat that have good fats in them. Butter is an animal saturated fat. You want to eat a limited amount of that, but you still can definitely have it. There was a time when people said, oh, don't eat butter, eat margarine. That's really not good advice anymore. Stick to the butter, just don't eat a ton of it. Healthy oils that you want to try to eat: olive oil, fish oils, coconut oils, nut oils, avocado oil. Eggs are good, and those sorts of things. So I'm running low on time, sorry. So I'm going to kind of pause here. So I'm just right at kind of section G. So I'm going to stop here, and I'll continue in the next video. Thanks for listening, guys. You're doing a great job. We'll continue in the next video here.